Hey YouTube, Halo Guy here. Today I thought it'd be quite fun to go over the new Halo Infinite Discover Hope trailer and pick out all of the parallels slash references to the other older Halo games. Everything from Reach to 5. So without any further ado, let's just jump straight into this one. Now the first callback slash reference that we come across within the trailer is the avatar of the ship's AI that's on board. It seems to have very similar characteristics to the anti-dot AI that was in Halo Reach and helped Noble Team with their engagements. It features the same sort of flashing lights with the little lines and the diamond pattern, so I think it's a direct reference to that. Not that these AIs are in any way linked at all. Maybe they serve similar sort of purposes where they're dumb AI and where their basic primary function is just to simply give intel. Now the second reference I could see within this trailer was the pilot's codename Echo 216.
This is UNSC Pelican Echo 216. Can you...
Now this sounds very, very familiar from Echo 419 in Halo Combat Evolved.
This is Pelican Echo 419. Anybody reading me? Repeat. Any UNSC personnel respond.
Even his delivery of how he tries to make contact with the friendly target he's got on the radar outside of the ship is very similar to how Echo 419 addresses Chief when they're exploring the Halo. Could this be a sign that we're going to be going to the Halo and this guy is going to be doing the same sort of help for Chief where they're going to look for Marines that are stranded on the ring? That's a possibility and something I'm quite excited for. Next, we have Chief floating in space just a few seconds later. Now, just the way his body is looking and the way his hands are just reaching out in front of him, it gives me the same sort of vibe as the Halo 4 ending where he let off the Havoc nuke to destroy the Didact ship and he was left floating among the debris. And better yet, in that Halo 4 cinematic, a bunch of Marines found him on a Pelican and brought him onto the Pelican. The exact same thing that happens in this trailer. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that's a cheeky callback to the ending of Halo 4. Had this scene appeared by itself with no other callbacks in this trailer, I would have just brushed it off as a coincidence, but the fact that there's so much stuff in this trailer makes me think that it was put in here on purpose. Anyway, moving on, when the pilot is inspecting Chief's armour, he mentions that the power cells are fried.
Looks like the main power cells are fried.
Now, this gives a very similar vibe to the Halo 2 mission The Armory, where the gunnery sergeant was inspecting Chief's old Mark V armour while suiting him up for his new Mark VI. Now,
There's viscosity throughout the gel layer. Optics, totally fried. And let's not even talk about the power supply. You know how expensive this gear is, son?
he says that the optics were fried, and he said let's not even talk about the power supply. Now that sort of merges both of these in together, where in this case it's the power cells, but I'm assuming the power cells and the power supply are sort of the same idea. So in that regard, the power cells in Chief's armour seems to be fried in this case, which I thought definitely a callback to Halo 2. He then mentions that the armour is in survival mode.
The main power cells are fried. Armor shut down. Triggering survival mode.
Now, I think this is very similar to what happened at the beginning of Halo 3, where they found the Chief and his armour was all locked up.
Gorman?
His armor's locked up. Gel layer could have...
The Marine then mentioned that his armour was in partial lockdown, so I'm assuming that survival mode and lockdown are basically the same thing, and the same sort of thing has in fact happened to the Chief's armour, where it locks up to avoid him getting into any sort of danger. This is definitely a callback to Halo 3. When he does finally activate the Chief's armour, we hear the noise, and this noise, pretty much unanimously agreed upon by the community, was so amazing to hear. Just that Halo CE and Halo 3 had that exact same noise, and better yet, the actual shield element of your HUD is pretty much the same as Halo 3's HUD element for the shielding, just maybe a little bit smaller. So the fact that it has the Halo 3 sound and the Halo 3 visuals is definitely a reference to that game, as well as Combat Evolved, since Combat Evolved and Halo 3 pretty much had the exact same sound for the shield recharge. Chief then looks down at his arms, and on top of that, the Marine says that he's been out for a while.
Like there's a problem with the servos in your hands. Stay calm. You've been out there a while.
And this is pretty much the exact same intro as Halo 4, where Cortana says to the Chief, "Easy, you've been out for a while," and Chief then proceeds to look at his arms.
Chief! Easy. You've been out for a while.
This is the exact same thing. There is no way this is not a parallel to the Halo 4 beginning and the Halo Infinite ending. Does that indicate that we could be getting a same sort of really emotional, in-depth, character-driven story just like Halo 4? I really hope so. That would just make my whole year, not my day, not my week, not my month, my whole year, if Halo Infinite gets the same sort of story as Halo 4, but just with a more classic approach. He then says he's going to check the diagnostics of Chief's armour.
I know I saw something in here to check your armor's diagnostics.
And in Halo Combat Evolved, in the beginning sequence, the Marine says that he's going to check his armour's diagnostics.
Chief, please look around the room. I need to get a calibration reading for your battlesuit's diagnostics.
Obviously in Halo Infinite's case, Chief's like, nah, I've done this far too much. I'm not doing that again. Which, understandable. Looking up and down, left and right and all around, only for them to invert your control scheme and have to do that again, was a bit tedious at times, but who knows. Maybe they'll introduce it again, just as a little callback or reference or something. Though in this specific cutscene, he just says no. Though that could be the heroic and legendary version of the cutscene, since in the past games, if you set the difficulty to easy or normal, you will get the diagnostics check, but heroic and legendary just skip that entire sequence altogether. So that's a possibility that we were just looking at the heroic or legendary version of that specific cutscene. I really hope they do the up and down, left and right thing though. It was definitely an integral part of just the whole setting up Halo experience. Completely unnecessary and tedious, but it was part of the game. And if they really want to call back and make a classic game, I think they should introduce it again. The Pelican shortly after gets under attack by some sort of EMP, which in the community we're sort of assuming it's the Guardians. The Marine says we need to run, and Chief's like, no, we need to fight.
We need to run!
No, we need to fight.
Now, this is definitely 100% a callback to the very end of Halo 5, which is obviously the game prior, not counting Halo Wars 2, where AI Roland says, we're just going to run, and Laska responds with, only until we can find a way to fight.
She can. Continue random jumps, steer clear of major settlements.
We're just gonna run?
Only until we could find a way to fight.
So obviously, they've found a way to fight. It's the Chief, and that makes me super excited. And this is definitely a reference to that. Not only was it the last game the Chief was in, but it was the last mainline game. Obviously, since Halo Wars 2 was a sort of separate entity, who knows if the stories will merge? I think they eventually will. Maybe not in this game. They're probably going to want to sort the story out, get it back in its feet before they really start merging in all the different stories. But these were definitely connected. So after the Chief jumps out of the Pelican and it cuts to Chief walking down the control room, we start to hear a very similar music.
I chose you because you were special. I knew we would be perfect together. And I was right.
It's definitely the same sort of vibe as the Halo 3 opening, where you've got that nice music in the background and you have Cortana talking.
They let me pick. Did I ever tell you that? Choose whichever Spartan I wanted. You know me. I did my research, watched as you became the soldier we needed you to be. Like the others, you were strong and swift and brave. A natural leader. But you had something they didn't. Something no one saw but me. Can you guess? Luck. Was I wrong?
In both Halo Infinite and Halo 3, she's given a sort of speech of sorts, but at the end of Halo 3, she asks, was I wrong? And during the speech, she was talking about how she chose Chief and that they were together, and it's because of his luck and etc. But in Halo Infinite, she's sort of giving the same message. She picked Chief, she thought they would be great together. You know, it's the same sort of vibe. And then at the end, when it cuts out, she says, and I was right. These two cutscenes are 100% linked. It is a callback to that scene. There are so many callbacks in this trailer, and it wasn't until I rewatched it and actually actively looked that I realised all of these different things. And these are just the ones that I've got off the top of my head, by the way. Oh, and not to mention the fact that this same cutscene of Chief walking towards the control room with Cortana, I'm assuming, in the middle, is definitely the Two Betrayals opening scene once again. And that even has the same sort of music as the Halo 3 opening. So it's just a big mess of callbacks and references and parallels to every single game in the series. We have Halo Reach, Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, Halo 5 even has a reference. Maybe there's an ODST reference in here somewhere that I just haven't seen yet. Who knows? I'll have to go back and see. But there's so many references and it is great. It just shows they are really going to be looking back at the past games, giving us a real, true, classic experience, and I cannot wait for this game to come out next year. It is going to be epic. Is there anything I've missed in this trailer? Let me know down below and I'll maybe make an update video with all the extra stuff that you guys have noticed in the trailer that I've missed out. But other than that, that's it from me today, guys. Like the video if you enjoyed, it helps the channel out a ton. Subscribe with notifications if you haven't already to stay up to date with all my latest videos as soon as they go live. I'll be covering all Halo news, big or small, so you'll want to keep up with the channel. I'd like to thank you all for watching till the end, I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time, and have a good one.